Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Martin Castillo from Smartline Personal Mortgage Advisors. Today we're going to look at using security guarantors to buy your own home. Now, this is most common with first home buyers, often with young people and people buying their first home. So there's other options to this, but this is relatively common nowadays, and I want you to know how this works. So we're going to use some general examples, round numbers, and there's a tiny bit more to it than this, a little bit more complex, but we kind of discussed that at the appointment. And the idea is that you get your head around how this works, and then we tailor each situation for each client. So pay attention. So you're going to buy a house, your first home is worth $400,000, for example. So this is your owner occupy home or principal place of residence, PPR, you sometimes see, PPR, principal place of residence. Now this house is worth, you're buying it for $400,000. Now, as you might remember, you usually use 5 or 6% for fees, all the stamp duties, etc. I like to use 6% because it adds a buffer. Usually 6% covers it. So 6% of 400 is 24,000. You need 424,000 to get the keys to this home. Now you might remember from, or you might know already, or remember from previous videos that we've recorded, that as soon as you borrow more than 80%, you have to pay lender's mortgage insurance. LMI can be a little bit expensive. It adds a few $1,000s to your total fees to get each home. So we try to, whenever possible, to not exceed 80%. In many loans we go right up to 90 or 95%. That's not uncommon. In fact, it's very common. But when there's an option, we cap at 80%. Now 80% of that is 320,000. So we write a new loan for 320,000 against this home. Now that means if you take 320 off that, there's a shortfall of 104,000, right? We've got to come up with that $104,000 somehow. This is where your parents come in, and a parent's security guarantee can be used. So the parents have their own home. Now this home is worth whatever. It's either paid off, so it's freehold, or unencumbered, which is the more correct term, or they've got equity there. The house is worth this much and they only owe this much. So all this is equity that they can borrow against or tap into. So this is the parent's home. And we're going to write another loan for this 104,000 that uses the parents' equity in their home to support yours. So we're going to write a second loan against your home. Now this loan has two securities against it. It has this home and it has this one. So you now have still borrowed 424,000, but you're using two properties as security. The names on the title doesn't change, it's just your parents or your mum or your dad, whoever owns that, and it can be another close sibling. It can't be, I can't go guarantor for you, nor you for me, but my brother or sister or whatever I have can potentially go guarantor for my loans. Now this is case by case, lender by lender. So what happens is in this situation, because you've got these two loans, and essentially that 104,000 is tying this property up, when you have a security guarantor, your focus is to pay off that $104,000 loan first. So you get stuck into paying that. Any voluntary payments, you get your tax return, or any windfall, or if you sell shares or however, you're paying that loan off first. And you make kind of trickle payments, minimum payments on this one. And that one goes down slowly, but this one's the one you focus on paying. Once that loan is paid off, we go back to the bank and say we want to extinguish that guarantee. So your parents get their title back, and they're free to go, and you are left with your home and this loan, which will also be a little bit less because you've been paying some of it off. I hope that makes sense. The only negative against here, well, there are probably two. There are some fees associated with this. Parents have to sign security guarantees, and any guarantee that's signed by anybody usually incurs some fees. The total fees are probably $600 to $800 maximum to involve the parents into that. So let's just say $800 round number. Whereas if you didn't use that, you wouldn't have those fees. The second thing is that your parents' home is now tied up with your loans, and your parents are understood to have another debt, another potential debt, which is this loan here. So when they go to borrow money for their own home loan or anything else, they are required to quote that loan. They're guarantors for another loan. It's known as a contingent liability. A contingent liability is any debt that has my name on it that I'm potentially responsible for. And if these two people here or this person here nicks off, the parents are responsible for this debt. So it's known as a contingent liability. So we explain that to clients, and we explain that to the parents, and the parents sign something saying, yes, I've had this explained to me. I understand that if this all goes pear-shaped, we are responsible for just that loan. So the parents' property is potentially responsible for that $104,000. I hope that makes sense. Have a look at the slide at the end of our video. That's got our contact details. If you have any questions, we love hearing from people. We love new clients and we love referral clients. So have a look. If you've got any questions, get in touch with us. Enjoy your day.